Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh dear. I think I've gone a bit early here. But I was meaning to go and get changed. But we'll just do this in our t-shirt. Hello, my baby gorillas. And let's see if this... I've not even fixed my hair here. Into that. Just brush it back. I was meaning to jump in and get a change of clothes. But as we're just in our suit, let me go and brush my hair. I was too busy trying to collaborate on the stream. So let's have a look at what's going on. What is actually going on? Oh, I'm back. It's good. There's a wee delay in this. It's quite interesting. So let's make sure that you can actually hear me, and then we'll have a wee laugh. Well, I didn't have a wee jump around all the various different podcasters, and let's see what's happening on YouTube. Let's go.
This is a custom printed
that you can actually hear me, and then we'll have a wee laugh. I was getting a wee glow around me. See, I've got my saturation around me. This is definitely not perfect for the surround of this. It's quite interesting. I couldn't get it. Spent about an hour trying to get this sorted out, and can't actually do it. Let me just see if I can filters, colour. See, it's giving me a wee glow round this. So chroma key. Let's see. So it's not liking it. It's not liking something. It's starting to look a bit translucent there. Still giving me a wee glow. I can't get rid of that. Maybe that's better. Let's make it darker. Let's see if that works. Not sure if that was doing better or not. Let's see. It's quite difficult to actually tell if you're getting a glow on it. Let's see. Well, maybe that's better. Let's make it darker. Let's see if that works. Not sure if that was doing better or not. This out a wee bit. Let's see. It's been a wee while since I've done this. It's quite difficult to actually tell if you're getting a glow on it. Let's see. Well, maybe that's better. Let's make it darker. Let's see if that works. Not sure if that was doing better or not. This out a wee bit. Let's see. It's been a wee while since I've done this. It's quite difficult to actually tell if you're getting a glow on it. I think that's working, guys. I think it's good as it's going to get today. I think I'm going to have to perfect the chroma key. Well, it looked quite good the last time I did it. I think that's it working. So let's have a wee laugh at this.
Please vote Democrat. Democracy is on the ballot. If you don't vote red, inflation will go up 6,000%. If you vote red, Elon Musk will kidnap your kids and put a chip in their brain, turning them autistic and racist. Gas will be $400 a gallon. Slavery will come back by January 1st. By January 1st, they will chop your kid's penis off as part of the proposed Penis Reduction Act. being gay will be illegal. American flags will be illegal. I mean, look around. All you see is rainbow flags and foreign flags. I mean, if an alien landed in the U.S., they think they'd landed in gay Ukraine. You'll have to swim to Venezuela to get an abortion. Every 2 seconds, 5 million people cross the border. Boom, that's 20 million people in your backyard raping your pets. Black people won't be able to vote because they don't know how to get an ID, because they don't know how to get to the DMV, or they don't even have access to clean drinking water. I mean, there'll be 800 genders. They'll try to ban all 800 genders. Vote red. They will legalize grabbing you by the pussy. Vote red. Blackface will be mandatory in kindergarten. Gay face will be mandatory in kindergarten. Democracy's on the ballot. You know, this one. They'll make you get boosted every day. And I'm talking about a trans person having sex with your kids.
So that's the tie the fish with a FISCH. Right.
We have to save this country from right-wing nut jobs. The demon rats are destroying America. I'm voting to resist tyranny. No, I'm voting to resist tyranny. What? You're a traitor. No, you're the traitor. I'm saving America from terrorists who want to use government to oppress and control me. Your politician is a lying criminal. Mine tells the truth. My politician tells the truth. Yours is a lying criminal. Fascist. Communist. You're evil. Do you hear yourselves? Your extremists mirror images of each other. No, they're clearly the extremists. Your cult flavors may vary, but vying for control of an institution that derives authority through coercion and violence dressed up as representation is more extreme than questioning the system and the results it's produced. Both sides are so riled up because of the legitimate fear of their perceived enemy seizing control of this violent government authority and using it to violate their rights. I only want to use government violence to force my opinions on others because I'm right and know what's best for hundreds of millions of people. What if I don't want to be forced to fund or submit to any government-enforced ideology? Whether they swear to care about bodily autonomy while flagrantly violating it or profess to be anti-government while actively supporting massive government. You've clearly been brainwashed by fake news. And you're both petty tyrants who think you have a right to pick masters for others and take zero responsibility when that fails and people don't like it. Now would be a good time to stop arguing over which flavor of authoritarian dystopian boot tastes better, gagging as they rob your wealth and liberties blind because you're too busy blaming your fellow victims for the crimes and inhumanity of the sociopaths you've been indoctrinated to believe represent you. We have to save.
That was excellent. Carrie Wiedler, W-E-D-I-E-R. Wiedler. Very good, Carrie. That was excellent. And I hope you guys enjoyed that wee introduction there. How many guys? Oh, that's excellent. Good stuff. So let's see what the quartering in Jeremy and Shane, who is actual justice warrior, which is exactly the right phrase because obviously social justice is not a just system. So let's see what the boys are saying.
Link close. It's now 49.948. You click that link that I sent you, the NBC News one. It's pretty good.
I got it open. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Where did I put that? Yeah. I just I don't see how do you.
Let's get that NBC. I think it's NBC, not NBC, isn't it? Oh, God. Come on. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. That's 2022. Come on. Midterms. Here we go. What are they saying?
Across and easy for the party that's not in power to say, are you struggling? Is this difficult? And it is. You see it every time you go to the grocery store.
All right, Stephanie, thanks.
It reminds me of the 1992 campaign in the Clinton War Room with the famous sign, Andrea. It's the economy's.
So Ron Paul's winning for the Republicans, and Schaaf 52% to 48%. Bush Valentine, Schmidt they look like he's way behind. You don't know which counties within the state have actually been called, whether it's pro the one candidate or t'other.
And 46% of the people in our exit.
So Hassan, actually the Democrats are doing better than anticipated, although it's still quite early in the night, and they've got a good way of cheating, because this is going to take days and days to actually call for postal votes. All of the postal votes, I thought they would have learned by now, and the postal votes need scrapped.
Less so, but higher than we expected, at least.
So this is quite tight. Budd versus Beasley. Doesn't look like a tsunami in North Carolina.
Inflation, and Democrats are being punished for it.
So there's polls close at 10 p.m. That'll be Western time, I would take it. Eastern time. So they're on a countdown.
Attack, which has tightened up races in these last few weeks, where they thought they weren't going to be as competitive.
So there's Hoeven at 8,057%. That doesn't look very competitive. North Dakota, Senate, 4% in.
On the issue of
41% in, and there's Ryan on 51.2%, Valance on 48.7%. Looks like a potential Democrat
policy on issues that are important to vote.
So Senate is 38 to 39, 23 undecided.
The three of us live in Washington.
So there's a projected winner for Oklahoma Senate, 39% in, 64% for Langford.
To go to their car or to school or whatever, you feel these issues in a really tangible way. You look at where Democrats are right now, more voters say President Biden's policies are hurting this country than helping, right? These are the
projected winner in Oklahoma Senate, 39% in. Mullen on 61.9, 300,000 votes. Horn quite substantially behind. So there does look like there's quite an increase in the vote. Oz, oh my goodness, that's a big turn up for the book. Although I believe that this is round, is it Atlanta or Philly? Here we go. Too early to call, 27% in. Laura Kelly up substantially. So Oz is down at 29%. Senate 2% in, 70% for Thune. Projected winner. Beggs 24.9%, and that's South Dakota.
But I know you've been obvious.
Maybe they want to throw it in.
So Scott projected winner in South Carolina at 60%. Matthews 235,000. Senate is one up for the Republicans. 38 to the Democrats, 39, 23 undecided, 39 to the Republicans. There is Welsh up 64, 18%.
Just pay a mortgage, and especially in New England, where energy prices is.
Governor, Republican, New Hampshire, Vermont, Welsh, Florida is called for Ron DeSantis. Too early to call. Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, New Hampshire. Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin, Nevada, 10 p.m. estimated closing time. I think that's about an hour to go. Eastern time. Battleground states. Oh! What's going on? So this is through NBC. 49 minutes. 50 minutes to go. Too early to call. Let's go over to Ron and Jeremy. We'll come back to these characters. NBC map. We're looking for NBC results map. Oh, no, we're going back to the same thing, or we're not? Oh, is this a different thing?
Kemp, those two Republicans, and Herschel Walker.
Oh, Herschel Walker, like this, you can actually stop this. Herschel Walker on 66% difference. Oh, he looks like he's running away with it.
We also have, if you take a look here, Paulding County, we think just about all the vote, maybe all the vote is in Paulding County. Again, you're getting...
I don't think this is going to be a red tsunami at all. I think this might be tighter than anticipated. GOP one gain so far. Certainly in the night, mind you, and it's going to take a few days for this to actually get called in full.
In a step removed from the immediate Atlanta metro area, core Republican, pretty big area though. Again, Walker running at 60 points.
I don't know if Chase Oliver's an independent, 2.4%, or he's part of the Libertarian Party.
8% here. There's Kemp running at...
Again, Shane Hazel. I don't know why this is very discerning, that sort of grey. I don't know who these guys, if these guys are independent or if these guys are Libertarians.
65 and...
So Kemp in Georgia looks like he's going to trounce Stacey Abrams, who's not very good.
0.5% here. And again, and compare that Walker number.
So this guy, Herschel Walker, I'm sure Herschel Walker's an athlete of some ilk as well. I think I heard him speak. He seems like quite a nice fella.
Number to the benchmark of Trump in 2020. That's under the Trump number from 2020. So again, we're seeing
95%, too close to call. How can that be too close to call if it's 95% in and there's 24% difference?
In Walker, there are some rural counties where Walker's putting up some terrific numbers, but you see that he's running behind. He's lagging behind Brian Kemp. You see that Brian Kemp is doing...
That's quite strange in the way that they've done that. It looked like Herschel Walker was ahead.
Pretty well here in the governor's race so far, and it does set up that possibility. We've talked about a couple of possibilities here. Would Georgia split its vote between Kemp and Warnock? Would Kemp win the race, but Herschel Walker fail and be forced into a runoff, lose out? Those sorts of possibilities. When you're seeing in places like Cherokee County, Walker just running that far behind Brian Kemp right now.
I need to interrupt you just for a moment because we do have a call to make. NBC News.
Right, let's see what the guys are saying. And I still can't find the governor's results. Where is this? Oh, governor's midterms. What's in already? So we've got Alabama, Flowers, 36%. Doesn't really tell you which party they're from. That's not very good, is it? Arizona, Alaska, show results of governors. New Hampshire, doesn't really tell you what party's with whom. Live results and updates. Pennsylvania, interactive county by county, access denied. Obviously the Americans are not wanting us to see it. House delegates. Let's just get rid of the NBC. Let's see election results map 2020, midterms, live polls, updates, maps. That's what we're looking for. Daily Mail, here we go. What's the Daily Mail saying?
It is decision day and the polls are open right now for voters in New Jersey. While the polls in Pennsylvania and Delaware, they're set to open in about 30 minutes at 7 o'clock this morning. And we have live team coverage for you of today's pivotal midterm elections with Eyewitness News reporters Waukesha Bailey, Ross DiMattei, and Jasmine Payute. And we're going to kick things off with Waukesha joining us live from Roxborough with Waukesha, some important...
Shush. President Trump voted for Ron DeSantis, so I think that there's going to be an announcement about Trump standing. I think although Ron DeSantis will get re-elected as governor, I think his tenure this time will only be for 2 years. My prediction is that Ron DeSantis will be the vice president, and I think that would be the ideal move for both parties. I think it will benefit both parties. A commentator like Dave Rubin, who really loves Ron DeSantis, I think is missing the point slightly. If Ron DeSantis stands as the vice president along with Donald Trump wins, and Ron DeSantis becomes the vice president for 4 years, then he's got potentially another 8 years as the president. So he's going to very much be similar to Joe Biden, except that Joe Biden's not going to get another term. I would doubt very much Joe Biden's going to get another term in as president, because he's definitely senile. So let's see, election day results. No, that's not it. So where's Jeremy when I want him? Let's go back. Let's go, guys. Let's see what you're saying.
You get, a part of me feels like,
by the way, I know why your stream messes up and does the echo, because you share the whole browser. You could share individual tabs if you wanted to.
Oh, you know what? That's right. I can unmute that screen too. Okay.
Yeah, so
that should do it. Yeah. Okay, Georgia.
So if you click the Senate on the top, it will just go to straight to the Senate race.
Where is it? Where are they in?
He's down by 1.5 points. That's it.
That's pretty bad.
Now we talked about though, like DeKalb County's only 7% in, and that's 10-1 for Warnock.
Right, but I don't know how many people are in there.
Well, I mean, it's Atlanta.
Oh, DeKalb covers Atlanta. I hate I live in New York City, and our city has 5 counties. I hate this city inside of a county that the whole rest of the country has.
Oh,
so what's that? NBC. Oh, I wish you could see that, Jeremy. NBC. I don't even know whether they're giving us this. NBC. Maybe we've got it. Oh, here we go. The Senate. The GOP is up 2, is it? Up 2 just now. So, Democrats are defending their 50-50 majority with Cackling Kamala as on the chair, and she gets the vote, so she gets to the majority in the Senate. Vice President Kamala Harris currently serves as the tiebreaker vote as Republicans look to flip the chamber. Close contest in Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania could prove Oh, and now it's disconnected. Oh, that's so interesting, isn't it? Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania could prove... Oh, and now it's disconnected. Oh, that's so interesting, isn't it? Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin. Disconnected, reconnecting, was it? Oh, successfully reconnected. Oh my goodness, let's go.
Oh, it's like half. Like DeKalb County's here and Fulton County's here, and it looks like it.
Reconnecting, was it? Oh, successfully reconnected. Oh my goodness, let's go. So, it's unbelievable.
Atlanta's like right on the...
Yeah, right I think Atlanta's in Fulton.
Fulton, okay. Well, there, which would make more sense, 66% of the vote is in.
So that's not looking too good for Herschel.
And it's 75-25 Warnock. But, I mean, that's not as bad as the other county, which is 10-1.
Yeah, I mean, but the other county I don't think is as big as Atlanta.
So is that, I'm not sure if that's just now the current, it doesn't really make sense because it looked like he was getting destroyed there, but Herschel's only 1% behind.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably like the liberal, upper class liberals who moved out of the city, you know?
Yeah, that's all Warnock's territory right there, in and around Atlanta and the Atlanta suburbs. Like, that's it. That's all he's got. Like, so after that, we'll see if Herschel Walker could win. And remember, he has to get 50% of the vote at least. Otherwise, they do a runoff in 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't think he can sustain it. I think what you're seeing here is people are like sick of the Democrats. So like, I mean, it's like, man, I look at like let's look at if we have any new data in Pennsylvania. If I could remember how to spell.
I count his failed presidential run for sure.
Oh, okay.
So Beto O'Rourke is off-ski as well. He looks like he's getting beat by Greg Abbott. Like Greg Abbott looks like he's going to take the Senate. I think it's the Senate seats, isn't it?
Yeah. I like how Beto's like, he wants to be the protect trans kids guy. And I'm like, dude, I mean, like, I get it, virtue signaling and stuff, but like, you're literally trying to win an election and you're trying to appeal to
0.000% of the population.
0.03% of the population. Like, you're not going to win with that. I know. Remember, was he the one with the skateboard?
Yeah.
Where he came in, he's like, yeah, I'm cool.
He ate dirt. He skateboarded. He did all the things.
So Democrats 8 up 1. Republicans minus 15 minus 1.
All of them, Jeremy. He did all of them.
Real Clear Politics has Democrats gaining 1.
Let's see Real Clear Politics. So I think that, so this is the Senate for the midterm. So Rubio is 57%, he's in. I don't know what percentage, 5% in, and Kay Brett is at 68%. So there it is there. So R. Warnock is 51% and H. Walker is 47.2%. So that's quite a substantial difference there. Too early to call, 65% in. T. Scott, South Carolina, 40% in. Incumbent, 61%. T. Budd at 50%, 48, 72 in, too early to call. Ron Paul has been re-elected, I would take it, 47 in, 47% in. And Ron Paul looks like he's beaten Booker substantially. Young again is up. Jay Vance is up. So there's Jay. I don't know if I can click on that. Can you get any? Oh, you can get in closer. So here's the guy that's had the stroke. Honestly, the Americans crack me up. Honestly, yeah, get the guy that's got the stroke in. He'll be good for a laugh. Yeah. So this is Fetterman versus Oz. I don't know. Oh, it does actually give us a breakdown of the. So Oz won that constituency, quite close. Nothing in there. So this is round Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, quite substantial in that. Quite substantial the other way in other states. So there must be quite a few in here. My goodness, the Reds are heavily red, aren't they? Jeez, oh. But there might be sparser communities here. So Pittsburgh, where's that? Harrisburg. So round about Harrisburg. So, and over towards Philadelphia. So round the large cities, my goodness, round Philadelphia, 80%. I mean, really, honestly, you just wonder who these guys are actually watching when they're on the TV. I mean, it's quite incredible. There's another one just popped up. So 37.8 to Oz. So there must be quite a few. And I take it these more rural ones have been going quite substantially. That looks quite eeky peeky there. That one won quite substantially by Fetterman. What one's that? Warren County? Crawford County? Crawford County, is that Dukes of Hazzard? So even when they turn blue, the more rural constituencies seem to be more Republican. And substantially more Republican. But obviously I would suggest that they probably get less. So Fulton's come in, Somerset. So there's a number of counties there still to come in. But it's looking good for John Fetterman, who had a stroke. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So let's go back and see. So North Dakota's in, South Dakota's Republican as well. It's only 5 and 7% in, mind you. So 41% in, too early to call, although John O'Dea is getting pretty well gubbed in Colorado. And too early to call, nothing in Arizona. I don't know what time it is in Arizona, but I would suspect it's the polling is still open. Ohio seat 1 and Ohio seat 2. Is there nobody else actually running that one? What's happening there? Ohio midterm election. Senate, James Langford versus, so James Langford and Mr. Mullen. Is that two sisters, Kendra Horn and Madison Horn? Are those just the horns? House seat 1, 3. House seats 1, 0. I think that must be the Senate seats. So all the guys won that. All the men won. In fact, it was an all-female slate in Ohio midterms. Maybe that was done deliberately. So that was a bit of a tsunami, because that's nearly 2/3 to 1/3 of the votes that they got there. It's quite interesting. So in Arkansas, the Republicans are up, and Jay Boozman, that's a great name, versus N. James. So again, it's almost like 60% to it's almost like 2/3 to 1/3, there or thereabouts. Obviously, this one's a wee bit closer. T. Bush, Valentine. So we've got a too early to call, 16% in. Ducksworth for the Democrats is beating Salvi, and Franken is beating Grasky, but that's only 14% in. And again in Wisconsin, so for 5% in, 69.8% for Jay Thum and Jay Hoven. I don't know how many, I don't know how far west it goes. I don't know if, I think Oregon, there's seats in, or a Senate seat in Oregon, or Senate seats in Oregon. Alright, so here we go, this is it. So we've got Alabama, Kay Brett for the Republicans winning. Alaska, we don't have any returns. Arizona the same. Arkansas, Jay Boozman's up nearly 60% to 40%. California, no results, probably just about to open the polls, I would think. Colorado at a win for the Democrats just now. Connecticut, again a win for the Democrats. It's nearly 60-40 for both of those. Florida, Rubio is nearly 60%. So Ron DeSantis, I thought DeSantis would stand in Florida as well. Georgia, what is this? This is the Senate seats. So where are we? Rubio, Florida. Where's Florida? Florida, Rubio. Again, well, that's quite close to calling Georgia with the Warnock Walker race, 2% in it. Hawaii, it's not been called. Idaho, not been called. Illinois, 60% to 40%. Indiana, looks like the Republicans are going to win. Iowa, 60%. Looks like another. I think the actual Democrats are doing better than they thought. What percentage is in? You can't even tell what's in just now. Too early to call. 16% in. Now, I guess that's mail-in votes as well. So the mail-in votes will obviously boost, I think, the Democrats. Whereas if they're counting, and as the count's going to take a few days, a judge said that up to, so this is the 9th, so up to the 14th, so another 5 days, that postal votes can be actually added to an election result. That's just ridiculous. You should be voting in person. It's an easy way to gerrymander the election. Kansas. So that looks like it's going Republican, as is Connecticut. How much is that? 52 and 37% in. So Connecticut 52% in. Louisiana, Kennedy looks like he's storming ahead, but only 11% in. So Maryland, Van Hollen, 71%, 21% called. That looks like it will go Democrat. In Missouri, the Schmidt is beating Valentine just now. Nevada, not in. New Hampshire. So New Hampshire's not in play. New York, this is the one. So there was mutings that this was, New York was in play. And not with those results. 71.6%. Okay, only 17% is called. But there would have to be some massive change, I think, for Pinnon to get elected on the back of that sort of lead. So New Hampshire, the Democrats are up as well. But only 21% called. Oh, so I think these are actually the ones that have been called. Are these the ones that are actually been called, the ones with the ticks? So North Dakota has gone Republican. Ohio is leaning Republican. Oklahoma is both gone Republican. Oregon is not called. Pennsylvania is going a wee bit Democrat, 22% in. Fetterman, it looks like Dr. Oz is increasing his share. It looks like Fetterman's actually going down. There's only 22% in. This Fetterman seems to be crumbling, although there's a 16% difference. It's that would require something like a 9-10% swing, but yeah, it looks like it's still in play. South Carolina and South Dakota are both going Republican. Ohio is nothing's been said. Vermont is still. Oh, where did that go? You bad man. Oh, where did that go? Oh, here we go. Ohio. Washington is 0-0, and Wisconsin is too close to call, 51-48, and 11% in. Wow, so Welsh won Vermont hands down. Washington has not even been called yet. Let's see if I'm actually talking to myself just now, or if I'm talking.
Oh, it's like half.
Oh, let's see. Come on. What is happening? Wisconsin is too close to call, 51-48, and 11% in. Wow, so Welsh won Vermont hands down. Washington has not even been called yet. Let's see if I'm actually talking to myself just now. Yeah, that's good. At least I'm on. I think I could actually turn this up a wee bit. So let's have a wee listen to what the guys are saying.
Governor so far, which is
that's Massachusetts though, right?
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it. Yep,
yeah,
Massachusetts. It's only 1% vote.
So let's have a wee look in what's on the. So that's the Senate, and let's have a wee look at what's happening in the House. So there's been the GOP have won 5 seats just now. So they're up 5. So the projection was potentially 54 Senate seats. Up to 54. I'd actually think it was going to be higher than that. I thought it was going to be 57 Senate seats and 238 for the GOP representative seats. So I think it might actually be higher. But 3 Republican seats. I'm not going to go through that because that's all quite boring. 20 Republican seats versus 6 for Florida. So let's just get an overview of this. House races to watch. So that's, I don't know how you move along here. Oh right, you can just grab it. So that's the Republicans in the CO, Colorado. Republicans in the lead there. Democrats there. Democrats the next one. Look like in the lead. Although you can never tell for these things as well until you're actually on the ground. So Democrats look like they're holding their own in a lot of these races, which is quite interesting. I think I just clicked on one of these. So there seems to be in the northeast, the Democrats are sort of holding their own. It's very difficult for me to understand how somebody would be going to the polls and actually voting this way. Although we're going into Pennsylvania and there seems to be shifting slightly. Yeah, there seems to be quite a lot of returns for. Well, there's one elected, House 6, House 15, Pennsylvania, Thompson. Langsworthy. Kelly. D. Joyce. West Virginia. So I mean, it seems to be. I think even Miami, South Miami, went Republican as well. Bishop. Yeah, I mean that's up 6 for the House. I don't know if it's a tsunami just now. I'm not sure if it is an actual tsunami. But I think that both the House and the Senate are definitely going to turn red. And that but I don't see it being a major one. I might be wrong over the period of time. So I think my thoughts are that the Senate will be about 54 seats, which is the projection anyway, 54 seats. I thought it was going to be maybe 57. But I think the Senate's going to be 54 seats to the Republicans. And I think that it might be slightly more in the House of Representatives, and the fact that it might be between, I think it was projected at 234, between 234 and 250, and I think it might be in there for the Republicans. Although it's hard to see it's hard to see a tsunami in this just now, but when you scroll through, there's definitely more Republicans in the lead, or certainly winning their seats. It is pretty red, isn't it? You can actually see it just from that. So 125, so they're up, flip 6. The Democrats won one, and they're down. They're up 6. Net gain 6. So I think they lost one, but the net gain is still 6. What else have we got? Governors' races, key governors' races. So Alabama is returned Republican. So this is governors' races. and obviously the governors have the decision-making process in the election and how the election should be run. That's why because there was obviously a lot of Democrats that some untoward things happened in the last election. So there's some gains in Maryland and Massachusetts. You just wonder who maybe the strength of the individual candidate as governor outweighs the weakness of an administration that's terrible. But you just wonder when somebody's going to the ballot why they're actually voting for specific candidates, because you wouldn't think you would actually vote for these individuals. But my goodness, Wyoming, Mr. Gordon seems to be romping it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Republicans are up. Now, this is the actual procedure. I'm going to actually wrap it up in 15 minutes, but the actual procedure for this is going to take weeks, or at least a week. It's going to take at least another 5 days over and above what's actually happened tonight. And ample opportunity to cheat. So, and bring in postal ballots, and they're not signing off on postal ballots. You would have thought they would have learned from the last episode that people should be going to the polls. And it seems like that there has been no change there. So let's see the guys, see what they're saying.
Yeah, but they're projected to win that overwhelmingly. New York's polls just closed 1 minute ago. I am so nervous.
Yeah, Wisconsin's closed too at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think your guy's going to win New York, but it'd be a bit of a turn up from the position he's in if he does.
So I'm like, God, Evers. Like, I don't even really like like many of our other options in Wisconsin, but like, oh, by the way, Republicans should have the House now, right? They needed 5.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were getting the House no matter what.
Yeah, but Senate, everybody's held serve in the Senate.
No, I think they're up in the Senate as well.
So far.
Yeah, I think all the competitives are still, they're not called.
Too close. Yeah, if I look at I still like seeing this as shite. So live 801, yeah.
So it's very strange. I mean, Americans are very unique in who they're actually picking. You just wonder how other people see things and see the questions that are in front of them. And you would think with the incompetence that they would have voted strongly against the current administration.
They should start reporting now. No results in New York. Oh, we got some New York.
Uh-oh.
With 0% reporting. That's a Senate. Wait, what the hell?
Yeah, Schumer's going to win the Senate.
Yeah, they already called it. How do they do that so soon?
Oh, he's running against this guy that I voted for him because I down balloted, but he's nobody.
Okay, so that's why. Because it was like I figure the answer to this because like I thought it was weird because this is kind of like my first time watching elections in real time, and it's like, how can they I think 1% of the vote was in Kentucky and they're like Ron Paul won.
Yeah.
Or they use exit polls or like it's like
they used exit polls in the UK and the exit polls were more accurate than the actual polls running up to the election in the UK.
Like, come on, give me something. At least make some suspense.
It's like some of the polling is just overwhelming in a bunch of these states. And remember, their federal elections in a lot of these non-swing states are way less competitive than their statewide offices. Like you could have a Republican, or Kentucky has a Democratic governor, or did recently. Maybe they replaced him.
Not that long ago, yeah.
And Massachusetts,
good-looking guy too. I remember him. All the women loved him. Good-looking guy.
So we're going to have a win in the Senate and in the House for the Republicans. But it's not going to be a tsunami as predicted, I don't think.
I forgot his name though.
I don't know. Everyone hated him because he was a lockdown guy, and it was like Kentucky. It was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I think he's still the governor, right?
He might still be the governor. Yeah, he's not up for election.
He's not up for re-election. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, and Andy Bashir. By the way, Kalia's linking Sean's channel, Actual Justice Warrior, both on YouTube, and are you on Rumble too?
I've moved to Rumble and to Odyssey. They finally built that automatic backlog updater.
I know. Did you see Library lost their court case?
Oh, what'd they do?
That was like a crypto thing. They used to pay creators in library coins, and then like the SEC. Jeremy Coffin did a good thread on it. It was kind of a bummer, but I do like Odyssey's layout the best of all the alt techs.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
I like Rumble the least. And even though there's we got 1,300 people watching us, literally everybody on the site is watching Crowder. But
oh, by the way, did you know that Devin Tracy got his main channel back yesterday?
He did?
Yeah, he's been appealing for 2 years. And he filed one more appeal yesterday because he got his Facebook page back randomly, and they gave it back to him.
Like his...
We have to save this country from right-wing nut...
Let's see if Crowder... See what they're saying.
Let's not know. And I need just my headphones. Glad to be with you. Look, there's
What are you saying, boy? Boy.
Oh, no, the cat's out of the bag.
Now everybody's going to know I'm short.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, no.
How dare you?
Well, if they find out I'm overweight, I'm going to have to kill myself.
Yeah. He's from the Weight Watchers Pygmy tribe.
It's true.
Gee, how come his set's all lit up properly?
No, we have a lot to get to. Fetterman, of course, debated yesterday. Are you okay, Joe?
Yeah,
I see you screwing around.
It takes a minute.
Yeah,
like
my
you
headphones
said.
are different too.
Anyway, I don't think that's it. Where's his live stuff? Where is he? I thought he'd be live just now. 13 days ago. That's not it. 1 month ago. Where is Stephen Crowder when you want him? Stephen Crowder Wikipedia. 5 months ago. Stephen Crowder, maybe he was in Rumble. Don't forget to join the Guerilla TV in Rumble. Oh, that's good, isn't it? How come he's getting dough thrown at him?
That's true. So we'll need, and I still think you can get two.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
That's
think
a
so.
real thing?
Fetterman winning.
Him versus Oz?
It really
I
is.
thought that was the thing we were doing.
The truth is, Oz isn't a real doctor. Like, he's
No,
actually
I
a
know,
very
yeah.
good doctor.
He
He's
is.
just weird.
I actually took some of his advice over the years.
Really?
Yeah.
You put a knife through up his forehead?
Yeah, I totally did.
So CNN, I don't know, what's that? What are they talking about? Come on. Oh, I don't actually know what happened there. Did everything shut? Oh my goodness, I don't even know what's happening. Are we still streaming? Oh my goodness, it's still going. Telling you honestly, you can see that things are afoot.
We were kind of working all over the place, and...
Right, that's great enough for you, madam. Let's see, drop the whole stream there. I don't even know where that's gone. I definitely had an open tab. Let's see if we're still in. Whole thing collapses in the middle of the stream. Honestly, I swear to goodness. I think that's great enough for you, madam. Right, apparently we're still going. It's unbelievable.
It was 10 minutes ago. More people have come in, so this poll can be open for another hour and 15 minutes.
Here's what happened tonight, just so you know. They said, okay, look, Nevada is looking pretty bad for us, okay? And obviously, same-day voting tends to lean Republican.
So there it's closing again. Wait for programs to respond. So 130 Senate's 40-40. Oh my goodness, close again. So quite incredible. Got to continually close this. Who's actually running? I think that's me going to stop with Edge. Middle of the stream.
Some counterfeit DC shoes.
As you see, we're at Lids across from the Maraca store.
So,
yes. Sorry, Lidos.
So I'm unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh dear.
A lot of time putting skateboard wax between her eyebrows.
At one time.
So, here we go. So the Senate's at 40-40 seats each. So 51 needed for an overall majority. I don't see a red tsunami here at all. I don't even know if I'll get 54. I thought it was going to be about 57. I thought it would be a much larger return. Certainly in the House of Representatives, 77 Democrat seats to 134 Republican seats. It looks like the House is going to be heavily Republican. And as I said, it might get to 234. Could be another 100 seats. Need to control 218. So whether or not I'll get to 234... we'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't look like it's run away just now.
But I think it was left there.
I want a nose grinder forehead. Let's go.
Let's do it. Well, and so that is what you're going to start hearing. By Friday, we should have all of the early votes, about 95 to 99%.
Can I look?
Why can you not do this sooner? This is absolutely ridiculous. They should be doing away with postal voting.
Look, can someone inform me, maybe in chat if you're on Mug Club, right?
You should be, and you shouldn't be having these electronic voting systems. That's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just vote and it should be counted by hand.
Right now, I do this, and obviously, comedy in my background, you're an entertainer, but I do this for a living. I still don't understand why all of these other countries can do their their elections same day. Mm-hmm. And yes.
Yeah, because there's some dodgy going on.
Before you ask, they do have early voting as well. And we will be...
We don't really do early voting. We vote predominantly on the day, although there are postal votes, which again is fraudulent and has been seen to be fraudulent in the UK.
Be waiting until Friday. Also, by the way, early voting. Shouldn't you be able to count that early?
You would assume.
One would say.
Like, no, because the thing is we allowed the postmark. People can send in their early voting the same day. Well, then why make it early voting? Just make it voting. Boom. Just show up and vote. It used to be called voting.
It would almost be called late voting, really.
Yeah.
Yes. Cheat voting.
Yes.
How does it take longer to count the early votes? Shouldn't they be counting the votes right now as people go in to cast today's votes? This is one of the...
Yeah, and that's another thing that you would only get, I think, up to the day of the election. It's just all fraudulent. They should be going into the election booth and voting with ID.
This is one of those gaslighting events where they want you to think, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. It should take longer to count the several-week early votes than the votes the day of the election. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. We should be able to count the votes of the day of the election that night and the votes that were cast 1, 2, 3. I mean, weeks before, yeah, that'll take several more days. Does any of that make sense to you? And by the way, it only started happening in the last election cycle. Let's call it 2, and I'm being really...
So they brought in COVID and brought in the ability to have drop boxes. These guys turning up the mules with multiple ballot papers, ballot stuffing. And apparently this is a big issue now.
Generous. Early voting, but late counting. And let's keep in mind, early voting, especially post-COVID, early voting, large...
But why would you need it now? You should be able to turn up on the day, and there should be open counts where people see the pieces of paper when they're brought in the boxes.
Democrat. Now, why? Your guess is as good as mine, because there's no way of knowing. Early voting, largely Democrat. They have far more time to count than the same day voting, which is largely Republican. In which case, if the machines in Arizona stop working for a few hours because of toner in the printers, you're shit out of luck. Oh, well, hold on a second. We really thought that we were winning this thing when we showed up to vote and we canvassed. I know. It was that red mirage. Well, what do you mean? How did it change 9 days after the election? The early voting. You're bullshitting.
Well, and if you're not pissed off enough already, let me just be clear. They said 99% done by Friday.
Yeah. Oh, it's always that pesky 1%.
Yes. It's those last few votes they have to scribble in.
Yeah, that will be done right around Thanksgiving.
Yep. In a mausoleum.
By the way, Herschel Walker has taken the lead in Georgia.
Hey. Oh. Wow, Herschel Walker has taken the lead in Georgia. Wow.
I saw behind him a pale horse and Demon Baby's fellow witness.
Now it's a very narrow lead, but like I said, Fulton County, we had a lot of reporting from that county already, heavily Democrat.
Yep.
So once we see some of the other counties start to come in, he'll start to.
That looks like a Libertarian candidate, that Oliver.
Build a little bit of a lead. I think it's 3,000.
It's a very narrow lead for.
Oh, Kemp is also up substantially again in Georgia.
Herschel Walker,
you know,
as opposed to the chasm-wide gap of Whitmer.
Yeah, pull it up right now. Pull it up. Hurry.
Georgia.
That is not a narrow lead.
Kemp, yeah. Well, look, we're looking at 8 points right now.
No, forget about that. That's Georgia done.
Georgia, I said 8-point minimum.
254,000 vote.
And apparently there's a 30% African American, 30-odd% plus percent African American presence in that Georgia. And apparently a lot of the African American men in that state are not really very keen on Abrams, which I don't blame them.
Lead over President of Earth Stacey Abrams.
I don't know, and you know what?
I shot a demon baby in Georgia just to watch it die.
Yeah, that's right.
With a squirt gun.
A
demon baby went down to Georgia, was looking for a soda steal. I said, not mine, demon baby.
No, not mine.
And this is also important because Kemp, right when we're talking about Kemp and Abrams, they tried to accuse. Remember, this is if you go watch that film on HBO, we can say this. Maybe we could even show some of it on Rumble. Kill Chain on HBO. Yeah. This is a whole documentary about vote fraud with Stacey Abrams and with Kemp. And guess what? They showed how you could hack Dominion voting machines live in that film, and they tried.
And that's another thing they shouldn't have. They should have ID votes that are done on the day.
To suggest that Kemp did it.
And in the UK as well.
And then said, by the way, no, we were totally wrong about that. It could never happen. Yeah.
Daily Wire's ready to go.
Are they ready to go?
Are they ready to go?
Are they ready to go? Let's ding her in, and I don't want to get pissed off.
Oh, here's Ben.
Should be the next pope.
All right, Daily Wire, the whole troop. Are you there?
Hey, we are. We are.
Okay.
We were just talking about how you should be the next pope.
Why should I? What? Well, I couldn't pull off the red shoes.
Try.
The Prada is not flattering on everybody. That's true.
Well, Knowles and Walsh, obviously, are the resident Catholics. What is it? Is it? This is my understanding that not only is there someone who makes the shoes for the Pope, which I understand.
Right. That's quite interesting. I'll leave that there. But,
hello.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Are you just starting, Jeremy? What's going on?
Really glad to have you here on this midterm madness stream. We are live on both Rumble and
live in Rumble and
YouTube. The YouTube.com. I've been trying to finagle a.
Oh man, honestly. You can see how they're actually totally mucking about with the live stream. I need to get this sorted out so that it's better. So, what are you saying, Jeremy? And why is none of this coming up?
Guessed for some time with
Jeremy,
he prints his own ballots. Ashley K says Vance has pulled ahead of Ryan in Ohio State Senate.
And everybody just lives in that little bottom bit.
Yeah, that is sad. You know what's interesting is
the Hasidic Jews were out voting today for him. Gaining in Queens, gaining in the Bronx. Okay.
Is up by 11 points, but it's only 80,000 votes with 2.2 million to go, and this is all red. You know, this is all red up here.
Yeah.
So like Madison being blue, you know, these two places being blue is not that big. Tim Michael's holding 30% in Milwaukee County. That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Is there any fake blues that are like clearly blue because of early vote right now?
No, I don't think so. Vernon County, that will be red. You know, it's only 2% in. Monroe, La Crosse will be blue because of the college. Or La Crosse County, sorry.
They should be doing away with postal voting.
Look, can someone inform me, maybe in chat, if you're on Mug Club,
They should be. There we go. Interesting.
This will flip. Actually, it's pretty close. 50% of the vote in. Bayfield, Marionette, Douglas. Yeah, there's nothing really popping that crazy. I'm surprised Michael's got 30%. Crash Cooter.
So as we know that nothing's going to be decided tonight, it's going to take about 3 years for them to count the votes for some obscure reason. Obviously not to nobble the election. So what are we at just now? Let's see. So 41 to the GOP, which is the Republicans, and the Democrats at 40. So it's actually quite close. Although the House is up 50 seats, nearly 60 seats to the GOP with the Republicans, with the Democrats only an 80. So obviously the House has been more in play than the Senate. And I don't know how many are still to be called. Obviously Alaska's probably still voting, I would think. But yeah, looks like it's going quite well. I think these must be called. So these must be the ones that are a certainty, and these look like the ones that are going a certain direction. Although it's still quite early to call, it's less than half the votes counted, and by the speed that the American counters are counting at, we'll probably get this by Christmas. But yeah, 50% in. Some of them already been ticked. So there's only 3 real Democrats that are being ticked, and I take it the tick here on NBC News is that this is a confirm that they think that they're definitely going to win. So let's see this. So again, it's up 5, up 6. So I think 1 seat was lost, flipped 2. So they're down 2 seats, although the GOP is up 6. That doesn't. Oh, they've flipped 2 seats. So 2 seats. So that must, if they've got a net gain of 6, that must have been an actual gain of 8, because if they've flipped 2, then 2 minus 8 is 6, isn't it? And some of these races here, some of them are quite close to call. But a lot of these look like they're heading towards the Democrats. Yeah, I don't see this. Let's see the Young Turds for a laugh. Let's get a laugh at these guys.
Do you love Gantt charts? Here's how easily you can build one in ClickUp.
For the entire time that America has been a country, we've been far too likely to elect people with just a couple of different life experiences. That is definitely the case, however you want to slice it. But like look at the people who the progressives are turning to try to create a new generation of politicians. They're just choosing, it's just their media people. It's just like, hey, that guy wrote a book and Trump said that he was cool. Okay, I guess he should be in charge of our trade policy. Like that is really what our politics has devolved to. And for me, it's not just about the numbers. I just want to see sanity win. I want people.
Says the guy that's got a geriatric dementia patient for a president. Very good.
To be able to look at like a candidate like Herschel Walker, who is saddled with so many obviously unacceptable scandals. How can you support someone who has told you himself that he has been on the way to murder a person and thankfully the voices in his head stopped him? A guy who's held a gun to multiple different heads in his life, let alone all of the stuff on abortion and his inability to, string 5 or 6 words together. It's incredibly disheartening to see hundreds of thousands of voters who can take a look at a couple minutes of Herschel Walker.
So about a 7-point lead for Greg Abbott in that governor's race, with 34% in. So Abbott was leading in the polls. This seems to confirm the polls. So right now, not looking good, but still a lot to report. Anna, do you have other numbers?
I love it how despondent they get when they lose an election. If you haven't seen Sargon of Akkad's Young Turks, you should definitely watch it. It's absolutely hilarious.
I'm looking around.
Presidential election one.
Not enough precincts reporting to really make much of a difference. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sign off as well. I think it's going to take maybe to tomorrow and do a part 2 of this. I don't even think it's all going to come out by tomorrow. This is prolonged and protracted, and it looks like that people can now sort of gerrymander the situation.
Remember, did you mention the congressional,
which isn't good for democracy if you're taking 5 days to count an election result,
race in Florida's 10th district between Democrat Maxwell Alejandro Frost and
Maxwell Frost won. That was the first.
Won,
that was the first call of the night, and he's a good, solid, young progressive, and he's going to Congress. So that's wonderful.
So far in Pennsylvania, with 32%.
So some commies going to. Is AOC in this? Some commies going to Congress. Good, that's absolutely terrific. Where's AOC? AOC. I'm sure she's in play just now. The dough ball. Oh, she wins the election in New York. Oh, no. Yeah, let's get the mentally challenged then. AOC wins in New York. Oh dear. They've got the guy who's had the stroke and the mentally challenged. Breaking news, AOC wins in New York. Democratic squad member takes back her seat with comfortable victory over Republican challenger. AOC cruises to victory over her Republican challenger. What's this in? Daily Mail. Alexander cruises to victory over her Republican challenger with 60,000 votes counted. She had more than 70%. It must be like the village idiots. It must be. I have a theory that every village idiot all over America went to whatever this district is in California, New York. They all voted for the biggest village idiot in this constituency, and we got AOC. Well, at least she's good for a laugh. The fact that you're voting for somebody that's quite clearly been lobotomised is just beyond me, staggers me. But anyway, congratulations. We've got Coco the Clown back, and I don't know what she is. Is she a senator or is she? I don't know if she's in the House of... I think she's in the House of Representatives. So anyway, she quickly rose to national prominence after winning the election in 2018 at 29. She was the youngest woman to take a seat in Congress. Yeah, so she's in the House of Representatives. Alexander AOC has comfortably won a re-election in New York seat as of 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday, and with a 60,000 vote count in the state's 14th district, the squad member has 73.8% of the vote of her Republican challenger Tina Ford, and has just 24.3%. AOC 33 was expected to take the seat comfortably, and earlier in the day campaigned with the New York governor Kathy Hochul, who is in a tighter than expected race. I wonder if I can get that up. One day ago, Will P. Wonder if it's on this. Can you search for this? 41. It's close. The Senate's close. Democratic Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado won a re-election on Tuesday. NBC News projects defeating Republican Joe O'Dea in a competitive race. Gen Z arrive in Congress. Maxwell Frost, 25, wins Florida House seat. Maxwell Frost will be the first Gen Z member of the Congress after winning a Florida House race, NBC News projects. Elon Musk sells 3.95 billion of Tesla shares after Twitter takeover. Marco Rubio wins re-election in Florida, defeating Republican Val Deming, new NBC projects. Now, I wonder if I can get this. If there's any way to search. No, there's not even a search thing on this. Let's see what's happening in New York. New York, Rhode Island, New York. There it is there. So there she is there. So Kathy Hochul is substantially up. 31. There's only 31%. My goodness, must be quite a big constituency. 31% expected to vote. Expected votes in. Estimated remaining nearly 4 million votes. So it's still quite a large amount of votes still available. But I mean, that's a 2/3 to 1/3 lead for Kathy Hochul. Again, obviously, people must like the crime and the mismanagement. That must be something that they look for in politicians. Oh, jeez. So we'll have to wait and see, but that's nearly a third in and a 2/3 lead, unless the constituencies round the periphery are redder. Then there is 70 Lee Zetland and 70 in Lewis. closer there. Yeah, I mean, you just wonder about people's politics and what they're actually looking at. Anyway, that looks a lot further apart. Obviously, dopey AOC managed to lobotomise other people into believing that this woman was a good, safe bet. 41 to 41. So this is the latest in the Senate. It's gone Democrat, new governor, and the Republican governor. So there's been a wee clawback with the Democrats in the House as well. 82 Democrats to 146 Republicans. Not really that much, still 20, 18, 60 odd ahead. So it looks like it's going to be a long night. I think I'll catch up with this tomorrow during the day, but I'm expecting both the House and the Senate to go Republican. And nobody's watching anyway. I love my baby gorillas.